Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. Yeah, a few interesting points I think we can talk about today. The new week has started. Bitcoin has continued so far the move to the upside that we started or that Bitcoin started a few days ago. We are now in this resistance area and it seems like Bitcoin is moving up slowly, step by step through this Fibonacci resistance area. And again, that is the same area we talked about a couple of weeks ago after the flash crash, right? On the 10th of October, we put it onto the chart, this resistance area, yeah? And it is the zone that needs to be broken to make the white scenario ultimately more likely, to reduce the likelihood of the orange scenario. But actually, I can't really say that because in the orange scenario, we're dealing with a B wave, and B waves can technically even overshoot. But I'd say that is probably less likely given that this B wave did already overshoot. So two overshooting B waves would be somewhat unusual, not impossible, can happen. But all of that wouldn't be bearish. I mean, an overshooting B wave would not really be bearish. It typically is quite bullish because, okay, the market cannot break out directly, but still the attempt is there. And that typically indicates there's more to come. But we'll see. I mean, for now, we are not even above the initial resistance area. We're currently testing the 61.8 retracement. And you see how relevant these levels are? I mean, you see how relevant these levels are? Especially here, the 50% retracement was relevant, right? On Tuesday last week at 113,460. The 61.8 retracement is relevant at 115,927. That's a very, very important level here. So we're attacking these levels, and then there's a small rejection, and then maybe we can move forward. The next one would be $119,530, but actually there's another level in between that you know about if you watch previous updates. Really relevant only on the micro, but still it is relevant. It is the level here at $117,600 or $117,700, plus minus a few dollars. We're in a volatile crypto space, but this is the red line here, the point of control, the level that was traded quite a lot, quite frequently in recent weeks, and in this visible range actually. Already in July, this level acted as support. In September, it acted first as resistance. Yeah, okay, then we broke above it and then came down again, and now it might act as resistance again. It's just a level where a lot of activity is happening. So I think it's been a level that we've been watching for the last few months again and again, and we might test that again. This level often acts as a magnet. So I would not ignore this. This is one key level that we should keep in mind. In addition to that, this is not only the point of control, but if you watched yesterday's video, then you know on the smaller time frame, exactly this level, yeah, around 117,600, 117,700, exactly this level also acts as short-term target on the smaller time frame. So it's quite important actually to pay attention to it. Now, it's also important, I think, to understand that there is some support and there's a CME gap. So what are the support levels? You will see micro support levels on the smaller time frame, but actually there was a CME gap that obviously now is relevant because the CME exchange, futures exchange, created a gap basically, right? Closed on the weekend between Friday and Sunday when the market moves, creates a gap. Last gap was closed last week. Yeah, so on the 19th of October it formed. We spent last week above it, it was closed, and then we moved on. We might close it this week. Yeah, it doesn't have to be closed within 24 hours or something. Someone asked me that question on X, but no. It's something to be aware of. Its support is between 113,460 and 111,160. It's just a zone. Sometimes it just acts as support. We might come down to 113,460. But really, this will only become relevant if the market breaks below upper micro support, because on the smaller time frame, we're tracking support as well. And that is a Fibonacci support area. So there's micro support and then CME gap support. Now, interesting, remember that area, $111,160 to $113,460. because the level that we talked about as additional support level over the last few days is also the 21-week exponential moving average. And it's interesting that we closed the weekly candle above it. And it is at the moment, and it's moving up all the time, but at the moment it's located around $111,570. So it is just a different level, but it is located exactly in that CME gap area. So we might come down and test this zone plus the 21-week EMA again, because CME gaps tend to be closed at some point. Now, it doesn't mean it has to be today. Sorry, it doesn't mean it has to be today. Doesn't mean it has to be tomorrow. But it's there. And the 21-week EMA continues to act as support. Now, the price might continue to grind higher. If we see small pullbacks, then you now know what the larger support area is. And on the smallest time frames, we have some Fibonacci support to track and to watch. Yeah. Now, as you probably know, if you followed the last two updates here on the channel, or 3 or 4, we're tracking a B wave to the upside is one scenario. So this could simply be a B wave, A, B, C, which might even stretch a little higher. I'd like to see at least a move towards 117,611. I think it's highly likely that we form a top in this region. Yeah. Even if it's just a top in the third wave before we start a fourth and then can continue. Maybe 1 or 2 more highs. Then I think this move up is done. Local, yeah, the local move up. And 117,600 is the next level. So I think this is going to be resistance. We're currently holding above micro support, really just upper micro support here. This is the nearest support area I can offer, between $113,774 and $115,120. So as long as we're holding above it, there's no sign, that anything is breaking down. The uptrend can clearly continue. It's just important to understand that we're dealing in the orange count, in the orange scenario with a B wave. And the B wave can take several forms and shapes and everything. So what would it be from an Elliott wave point of view if we break below this upper support? It would indicate that the top of sorts is in place. Yeah. I mean, it's different. We could consider to reset this B wave. Maybe it's even forming a broader ABC structure, because let's be honest, this B wave is quite small compared to the larger A wave that potentially bottomed down here. So there is scope for further extensions, or let's say for further complications. Yeah, it can certainly turn into a much more complex structure. All I can share here with you, what is the first micro support? If we break below it, then I would watch this area around 111.5K, yeah, where that 21-week exponential moving average is located. That's also then basically probably a test of the previous swing lows here from the weekend, which is basically where the price found support, right, at around 111,300. So that should give you a good idea of what's currently happening in the Bitcoin space. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, yeah, also make sure you follow our other channels, for example, the More Crypto Online channel, where we also cover several cryptos several times a day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.